me with the 5. Campbell hit me with the 5. Dolfer Boy hit me with the 5. I mean, sure, gentlemen. Sure. Holy shit. What the fuck is going on, bro? Are these guys on absolute tar this morning? Nah, you guys, you're going to give me too much momentum for today. Tournament day. I said, we're probably going to get dead last. Holy shit, boys. Hey, Dimitri, Campbell, Dolfer Boy. Boys, thank you very much for the gifted subs this early in the morning, man. I appreciate y'all. For real. Guys, thank you. You really start this early? I mean, bro, this is what happens when I have a game that I'm really enjoying. Yeah. I mean, look, bro, we've been kind of asleep at the wheel the last few weeks with the stream. Just kind of like in a weird place with the game that I want to play and my brain just being fixated on playing golf. But, you know, we settled that down a little bit. Hold on 1 second. I think my mic is peaking just a little bit. We've been able to settle down our golf bug, our golf itch, and Verdansk has just been a great time, man. Like, if I have a game that I'm enjoying, dude, I love being in this chair grinding away. Deadass. Like, Marvel Rivals was fun for a couple months, and I'm sure I'll end up playing that game again at some point, but just being back on Call of Duty has been a really, like, a breath of fresh air for me. Because I did have a lot of fun with Black Ops 6 first release, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys were here for the subathon and, like, the Dark Matter grind, the Nuketown double XP, and then rank play, like, we were in the mix. Like, sometimes I forget how much I really do love Call of Duty. A lot of times, just, like, the shit that happens while you're playing Call of Duty can kind of deter you from that path. You know, all the cheating and the hacking and all that, but it hasn't been that bad on Verdansk. We've been running into, like, cheaters a little bit more often. Like, yesterday was kind of a tough day. We ran into a couple. But overall, it's been really, really good. Yo, Todius Maximus, thank you so much for the 5 gifted, brother. I appreciate you, big dog. God damn, bro. Hey, 4 big, strong men dropping 5 gifteds already this morning. I mean, sure, gentlemen, sure. E. Parksy, thank you very much for the sub. Blake the Flag, that's my brother right there. Let's go, Nate, almost having her child. We are right there, bro. 1 month away till we deliver this fucking thing. Todius Maximus, once again, man, thanks for the 5 this early, dude. I haven't seen you give subs like that before, so I appreciate you, man. Dolfer Boy, you really did dope us up. Yo, hold on, bro. I fucked up. My boy Tay from B-Hole was the first gifted sub of the day, bro. And I just skipped over him. Yo, hey, Tay. That's on me, bae. Damn. I don't think I've ever said bae unironically. Like, I'd never use that word. I feel like bae, when it got popularized, was, like, definitely a word that most females only use, right? Dimitri, bro, asking the important questions. How did the eye appointment go? Okay. So a lot of things have transpired in the short time that we turned off the stream yesterday and getting back on today. Dimitri, first of all, I appreciate the 5 gifted you've been dropping every morning, dude. It's been insane. This whole week, bro. You've been dropping 5 just like Campbell. So we appreciate that. Tell us about that brown eye, brother. Ooh, shit. Well, I ate pretty healthy all day yesterday, but I just battled like fucking 12 rounds of the ring with that bidet, dude. And I'll tell you what, I fucking won. That bidet was working. Yeah, so the eye appointment yesterday, man, it went really, really well. We got off stream around 2:30. I had to drive like 25 minutes. You know, since I don't really leave the house in peak hours, sometimes I kind of forget that there is like quite a bit of traffic in Texas. So the drive home was actually miserable. Shit, it was 25 minutes there. It took me like 50 minutes to get home. I'm like, what the fuck? How can these highways be this big and there be this much traffic? Either way, you know, I fucking deal with that in LA. It's not nearly as bad as that. But the eye appointment went really, really well. Genuinely, you should showcase how big those scleral lenses are. Yo, to be honest with you, Sigurd, like, you're probably never going to see me show them off on stream because the process of getting them in and out, and maybe as I get better at putting them in and taking them out, I can swap them in and swap them out pretty easily. But overall, man, that shit is like quite the fucking hassle. So we'll see on that front. But I would just imagine like a normal contact, and then just imagine it's kind of like a hard plastic instead of like a soft gel. I mean, I've never worn real contacts, but that's neither here or there. So yeah, bro. The fitting appointment went really, really well. After going to the optometrist and the ophthalmologist, like what I've discovered is that my left eye is like cataclysmically, apocalyptically. I mean, just the worst thing you could ever imagine. My left eye is so much worse than my right. So that was interesting to find out. I was blind as a fucking bat in my left eye. But since this was a new optometrist, he got all the notes from my ophthalmologist, whose name is Dr. Potts, great guy. And I've been there twice now. And my optometrist that I went to, turns out this guy was he was 32 years old, bro. He was the same age as me. And he really knew what he was talking about, man. He was like, listen, sometimes we see folks that have moderate cases of keratoconus that don't actually need scleral lenses. So I'm just curious to see what's going on here. I'm going to do some tests of my own and see where we land. So we did some eye tests, and he's like, okay, yeah, you definitely need these scleral lenses. And the most intimidating part of the whole process and why the first optometrist that I went to just wasn't very successful is that when I asked this new doctor, how many people do you run into when you, like, how many folks that come in here do you kind of like fit for these scleral lenses? He's like, probably like 1 to 4 people a month, maybe. Some months are, more action-packed than others. So the whole setup was just so much better. Like when I went to the first optometrist, never wearing contacts before, she basically just had me like leaning over a sink and was like, hey, put the contact in your hand like this, like make your fingers like a little tripod. And then, yeah, just try to get it in your eye. So I sat there for like a fucking hour trying to get these things in my eyes with my wife standing behind me and this optometrist standing right next to me. And dude, I'm telling you, bro, you don't know stress until you're at the eye doctor and everybody's just waiting on you to not fuck up. Like getting these fucking things in my eye, because if you don't get it in your eye successfully, then you need to take it back out, put more saline in there. And if it falls on the floor, you have to clean it over and over and over and over again. So the first optometrist appointment was just miserable because I got fitted for these things like 6 months ago, and I've talked about it on stream before. It was just a disaster. So to be honest with you, I wasn't feeling very confident. I'm like, dude, I'll probably never end up getting these contacts because I just can't get them in my eye properly. Because the tough part is not only do you need to get them in your eye for the first time so that they can take measurements and take all the specs for your individual eyes and setup, because then they got to send them to a lab, have them made properly with the right script and all this, and then they send them back, and you got to get them in over and over and over again, because sometimes it could take like 2 or 3 fittings for you to be actually like dialed with these things. So when I went to the ophthalmologist the next time, I'm like, hey, do you guys have any recommendations on a place that I could go to that maybe deals with scleral lenses a little bit more? Because I don't think the one that we went to was just like well equipped for it. So kind of put this thing off, like procrastinate a little bit, had a couple appointments set up that my wife got for me, but then canceled them because I was streaming and having a good time and we had a lot of viewers. So we finally ended up there yesterday, get my eyes tested again. And instead of me putting the lenses in for the first time myself, the doctor actually did it, which was a really big help. It took us about, I don't know, I'd say like an hour to get them in both eyes successfully. But when we did, they didn't have any bubbles in the saline, and the doctor was able to get the readings and the measurements that he needed to. And now they're getting sent off to the lab. In about 3 weeks, I'll have them. So I'm hoping that when they do come in from the lab, they won't need to be sent back for any reason. I tweeted about it last night on the timeline, and a few folks have said that, it took like 2-3 more fitting appointments for them to get actually dialed, but hopefully we just get like a little bit of luck. So I'm excited, man. When he got the lenses in, he gave me like kind of like, imagine if you took the glass out of my frames right now and I could just hold the piece of glass over my eye. He showed me what it would look like with the proper prescription that's going to be in the actual lenses. And I had like 20/20 vision, bro. It was awesome. So I'm really, really feeling I'm ecstatic, to be honest with you, man. I'm trying not to get my hopes up just because I think there's a good chance it's going to take a little bit longer to get the proper fit. But I'm hoping within the next 2 months, man, I'm wearing these things full time. And I think it's going to change my life, bro. Everybody that I've talked to about keratoconus and these lenses says that it really is life-changing in a lot of ways. And it wasn't until I've done all these tests that I realized like how bad my eyes have actually gotten. And you know what's funny too, man, is that not only does it affect like my actual vision, but it also affects like the peripherals. I had to do this test. They put an Oculus headset on me, and you basically had to stare at a red dot in the center of the screen. And whenever a white light would flash around, your stare, testing the peripherals, I realized how bad that actually is as well, dude. And then driving at night, my depth perception is off. Everything is just so much worse than I've realized. Like, it's so bizarre too, man, because it just happened out of nowhere, bro. I basically had perfect vision my entire life up until like 2 years ago, and it's just getting worse and worse. So I think this is going to be a big help, man. It's a long story short. Big help. Appointment was successful, and I'm really excited. So thank you guys for being on this journey with me. I know I complain about it a lot, but dude, when I've got somebody like running across my screen in front of me on Warzone and I don't even see them and my chat's tweaking on me, the guys in the Discord are like, oh, you just looked at them. I'm like, dude, I can't fucking see. So I'm excited. Hey, Soap Legend, thank you very much for the 13 months, bro. He said, Australia represent, dude. Come on out. Down under. Shrimp on the barbie. Sorry. X-Pow your face. Moe, what up, baby? 15 months. Sure, Moe. Hercules, thanks for the sub. K-Mac Rocks, thanks for the sub. Maxid, thank you very much for the 7 months. Hey, Chad, I got good news, gentlemen. I got good news. This motherfucker McGowan's got this 5090 purring in my PC. I don't know if Scrims is here this early in the morning, but we're in that motherfucker. Campbell. Ooh, Campbell. I didn't even think about the parlays for the Master, dude. Campbell said, I got a nice little parlay for you. Ludwig Auberge. DeChambeau, Cantlay, McRoy, all to finish top 10, plus 3,042. Man, I don't mind that. Dude, betting in golf is just so difficult. A 4-leg parlay for top 10 finishes is... Yo, hey, Campbell, listen, I might ape into that with you just because it's you and you're the daily supplier of dopamine around these streams, but man, a 4-leg parlay for top 10 finishes is kind of fucking insane, bro. I put $5 on it, nothing nuts. Okay, I respect that. I feel like it's just so tough to, like, I honestly think out of the field, it would be easier to predict who's going to win than for all 4 of those players to be top 10. I feel like the universe has to align for that to happen. I have been reading Twitter. Since the Masters is coming up and my algorithm is dialed to golf, I've had a lot of people trying to predict. Every year they have like stats based off of like strokes gained on putting and, wedges around the green. And somebody claims that the 8 out of the 10 last winners all have like these 6 stats that lead them to the promised land predicting the winner. I don't know, bro. I feel like you just got to bet off emotion with golf. And this thread that I was reading actually while I was on the pot, Campbell, they're a little concerned about Auberge. Ludwig Auberge. They're a little worried about him because I guess that his irons have been a little inconsistent these last few weeks and that he's actually been around the greens, like, 20 yards and in. His chipping has been too great. So we'll see. I don't know. I think I'm going to hammer like 10 bets.